Okay, I am going to do a neck and shoulder workout. Stretch, stabilize, align, and strengthen. So, start sitting on your mat with your seat bones in the ground. So just rocking from side to side, feel those seat bones in the floor. Rest those hands on your legs. Let your knees come soft and just roll yourself forward. Pull your tummy down towards your thighs. Stretch your back. Aim to bring your armpits towards your knees and aim to take your head forwards over your feet. So you're lengthening that spine and closing that hip joint down. So in order to relieve the neck, we need to have full mobility in the hip, in the knees, in the ankles, in the lower back, in the thoracic spine, and then that alleviates the neck. So we work on the hip, pushing the head forward. Now release those legs, sit yourself up nice and tall, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and then down. Put those hands on the floor. Push that chest up, take the chin up to the sky and push the chest forward. So you're squeezing the upper arms together. So I've got my hands on my knuckles because my wrists are a bit dodgy, and I'm pulling the upper arms towards each other and I'm lifting that chest. Every breath in, I spread those ribs apart from each other. Every breath out, I pull those up, those elbows towards and push the chest forward. Take that chin up really high, stretch the front of the neck, and then bring that chin all the way down into the chest and stretch the back of the neck. Release the hands off the floor, take them onto the legs. Roll yourself forward, let those knees come soft. Reaching the head towards the feet, stretching through those vertebrae and discs and letting the armpits come down towards the knees and lengthen the body. Push that right knee towards the floor. Push that left knee towards the floor. Now, if you can't come down as far as this, it doesn't matter. But I want you to bend the knees more and bring the tummy onto the thighs. Have those legs apart so that your belly can sink down between them and push the head up so you're closing your hip joint. And then gradually try to push those knees down one at a time so we get the hamstrings involved. And then we can pull the toes to the nose, push them away. Pull the toes up, push them away. And then lift yourself back up to vertical. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them back, pull them down. If you want to put the palms of your hands on the floor, I would have the fingers away for the moment because we're stretching that chest and upper back. We're not working on the wrist. Push those the chest forward and up. Take the chin up high. Lift that chin up, stretch through the back of the neck, and then bring that head all the way down. Swing that head so we look to the right-hand side of that right leg. So we push that right ear away from that right shoulder. And then swivel that head slowly. So we change the angle of pull around those muscles. Swing those eyes back to the center. Move the head from side to side a bit, stretching through that neck. Take that head over so we look to the left side of the left leg. Keep those elbows and upper arms together. Pull that left ear away from that left shoulder. Breathing in, keep those upper arms and elbows towards each other. Breathing out, moving that chin so that we keep stretching that neck. And then release and bring that head up to horizontal, eyes horizontal to the floor. Bring those hands around onto the legs and roll yourself all the way forward one more time. Slide your hands over your feet. So my legs are quite straight, but you can have your legs bent more. Push those toes away and stretch through the armpit. Release that head, pushing the head towards the feet. And then release those legs. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Put that left hand on the right knee. Right hand behind, lift and turn all the way around to the right. Looking over that right shoulder, keeping in column. Head is above the crutch, which has the waist in between. Turning the tummy round, turning the shoulders round, turning the chest round. Bring yourself back to center. Put the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. Lift that body up tall, turning, looking over that left shoulder. Bringing the breastbone round to the left, bringing the tummy button round to the left. Pushing off the side of this leg, turning. and then release and come back to the center. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them back, pull them down, bring those arms up. Push those hands forward and stretch that chest. So we push the back backwards and then pull those arms back, but keeping them straight, pulling those shoulders together. Take those arms out wide, bring those shoulder blades together. Bring those arms round in front, reach those shoulders away from each other, push those hands forward. Bring those arms wide, lifting that chest up, pulling those shoulders behind, pulling them together. Pull that chin down to the chest. And then release, bring those arms back, put them on the legs. Breathing in and on the out breath, slowly lower yourself down, one vertebra at a time, starting at the bottom. Keep the head up, pushing from this lower back into the floor first. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Take those arms all the way over the head. Reach and stretch the hands away from the feet. Push that right arm up, push it away from that right foot. Push that left arm up, push it away from that left foot. Push that right arm up and reach it over to the left side of the mat. Lift your hips right and move your feet to the left. Cross that left leg over the right. Hold on to the right wrist and pull that right hand away from that right foot. Breathing in. Breathing out, release, bring those hands back to the center, bring the feet back to center. Push those hands away. Take those hands to the right. Lift the hips, drop them to the left. Walk those feet to the left, to the right, sorry. Push that left hand away from that left foot. Keeping the left shoulder on the ground, keeping the left hip on the ground, stretching through that left side. Breathing in. Breathing out and release. Bring those feet back to center. Bring the hands back to center and reach and stretch. Breathing in, pull those arms all the way up to the sky. Push those hands up high. Push that spine into the floor. Push the lower back into the floor. Flattening the back on the ground. And then pull those shoulders down into the ground. Let the spine lift away. Let the lower back lift away. Keep those bottom ribs on the floor. Take those hands out wide. Pull those shoulder blades together under your back, lifting your spine up, lifting up into a sort of partial fish, and then release. Push those hands away from each other. Bring those hands up to the sky. Keep pushing them away so the shoulder blades slide around the edge of the rib cage, off the floor, pushing the spine into the ground. Keep the back of the head on the floor. Pull those shoulders down into the floor. Push the back of the head in the floor. Feel the head come straight, the neck comes straight. Bring those arms out wide. Keep putting those shoulder blades together behind the back, squeezing. Push those hands away. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Push that middle back into the floor. Lifting. Feel the back of the head comes light. And then pull those those arms and shoulders into the ground. Bring those arms out wide, breathing in. Pull those shoulder blades together, keep those shoulders down. Breathing out, bring those hands down by the waist. Slide the fingers under the bum. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Slide them on the floor and then push off the upper arm and just come onto the back of the head. So we're not doing a massive fish pose. We're pushing those elbows in the floor. We're stretching through that upper back. We're lifting the chest off the shoulders, off those shoulder blades. We're pulling the upper arms around under the body, stretching through that belly, pulling around, filling the lungs up with air, stretching those ribs when we breathe in. When we breathe out, we're pulling those shoulders onto the back and then release. Breathing in. On the out breath, lifting those hands up, chin into the chest. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Rolling all the way forwards, reaching towards those feet, stretching through that back. And then sitting yourself up to vertical and grab your roller. So grabbing your foam roller, you're going to put it across the mat behind you. Sit with those feet flat on the floor, knees bent, breathing in. And on the out breath, lay back so the ribs rest on the bottom ribs rest on the roller. And then you push the breastbone to the sky and you let the head go down to the floor. And you stretch the front of the body and you release those ribs. Breathing in. On the out breath, take the head in the hands, lifting yourself up. Move that roller up the back a bit. Breathing in. On the out breath, push that chest up into the sky. Let that head come down. Stretch the front of the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring the head in the hands. Lift yourself up. Move that roller up. A few centimeters. Breathing in. Breathing out. Push that chest up to the sky. Stretch the front of the body, resting the head back down on the floor. Bring that head all the way back up. Move that roller a tiny bit more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Push that chest up high. Lift that bum off the floor and roll that roller down towards those bottom ribs, probably in a count of 4. Rolling back up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean onto the left side for 4, 3, 2, 1. If this is hugely painful, just move and drop your bum on the floor as you go to take some body weight off. All the way down. And continue to turn gradually round onto that right hand side. All the way around. Going onto the right, through those bottom floating ribs. Through the armpit. Through under the shoulder blade. All the way up. All the way down. And then stop with it in your armpit. And rock forwards and backwards as you take the roller down, forwards and back through that armpit. And stop when you get to the bottom of that shoulder blade and work in at the bottom of that shoulder blade, work in into the muscles at the bottom of the latissimus dorsi, and then continue to move all the way up and then back onto the back. All the way down, all the way over onto the back. I have to shimmy around on this roller. All the way down, all the way up, all the way down and over onto that right hand side. Support the head if you need. So remember, we're moving in the count of 4, down to the bottom, back up to the top. And then over onto that right hand side, down to the bottom, and then back up. Through that armpit, all the way up, all the way down. Stop when you're in the armpit, rolling forwards and backwards. Rolling forwards and back. Rest when you get to the bottom of that shoulder blade in that kind of bra strap area. And really work through that, through those muscles, those rotator cuff at the bottom there. And roll all the way up, all the way down, and go all the way back onto that back. All the way down. And all the way back up. Stop when you get to the middle of the thoracic spine. Straighten those legs out straight. Rest that head down on the floor as near as possible. Take those arms straight out above the head. Push that right arm around and away from the right foot. Push that left arm around and away from that left foot. If this is too much on your back, bend your knees up. And don't do that complete stretch. And then rolling that roller through that thoracic. Put the bum on the floor, chin into the chest. And sit yourself back up. Move that roller out of the way. And you're going to grab a tennis ball. Tennis ball, spiky ball, something of that description. And we're going to lie back down on the floor. you're going to take that ball. I'm going to go on my right side first. I'm going to lie on my right and I'm going to slide the tennis ball in between my spine and my shoulder blade. And I'm going to rotate, or rather roll that ball across the bottom of my shoulder blade. So I'm going to lean on the right side more, lift the left side up so that I don't have quite so much weight on this ball. And then I'm going to move my body over the ball and bring it up between the shoulder blade and my spine. So I have to kind of wiggle around on the floor, moving that shoulder blade over, or rather the muscles between the shoulder blade and the spine over that ball. And I come all the way up, get that ball to the base of my neck, rolling in the base of the neck with that ball, and then bring it across the top of the shoulder. So these are the areas that people get into when they have a massage. They stick their thumbs in and on there. And get all the way out to the edge of the shoulder blade. So the edge where the arm joins onto the back of the shoulder. Roll that ball in there, and it can be quite painful and it can refer. So you allow the amount of pressure for the amount of pain you can tolerate. When you find a really painful area, you want to stay there and you just want to breathe and you want to try and release a little bit. And then you're going to bring that ball down the outside edge of that shoulder blade, down the bottom to the bottom of the shoulder blade and along the underneath, and then back to the middle. And then you're going to slide that ball across to the other side. Doesn't matter where you start because you're going the whole way around that shoulder blade. So rolling that ball in that shoulder blade area, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down through that thoracic area, all the way to the top. You can move that hand around and the arm around above to create different type of massage. Get through the base of the neck there. Go across the neck to that shoulder on the outside, rolling through that. And then coming up the outside edge of that shoulder blade. All the way up, and then get to the base of the shoulder blade. Come across the bottom there. And then rolling back. So again, you create the pressure that you need. And then when you finish, roll that ball out of the way. Rolling those shoulders up to the ears into the floor, slide them down. Roll those shoulders up to the ears into the floor, slide them down. Have those knees bent, slide the fingers under the bum, straighten those legs out. Breathing in, push those elbows into the floor, lift that chest up high. Breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, fill the lungs up with air, and then push off the elbows and come down onto the back of the head. Breathing in, breathing out, pull those shoulder blades together, squeezing behind the back. Pulling, lifting, each time trying to lift a little bit higher. Draw your tummy in so that you protect that lower back and don't overstretch the lower or overcompress the lower back. And then release, lower the back down to the ground, bring that left knee in, bring that right knee in. Bring the nose to the knees and round that lower back and release. Bring the nose to the knees, round the lower back and release. Rolling the shoulders into the floor. Put that right leg on the ground, stretch it out straight. Pull this left knee in towards the hip. Pull this left knee over the body, push that left hand away, turning those eyes left. Reach that left hand away, reach that that right leg away. Pull that left knee to the floor. Turning the ear, so the left ear is trying to get to the ground. Turning through those ribs, so the tummy button's trying to come to the sky, breastbone coming up. And then release, roll back onto the back. Pull that knee in towards the hip, the shoulder, sorry. Closing that hip. Pull that knee all the way over the body again. reaching, stretching, lengthen that leg, push that left hand away, breathing in. And then roll over onto this right hand side, take the left foot in the left hand, roll that shoulder up to the ears, back and down, push this foot into the hand, keeping control of the front of the body, keep that pubic bone, breastbone, tummy button aligned, push through that foot. Push that foot behind and away, so we take the knee backward. Breathing in, breathing out, the knee comes behind the torso. And then release, let yourself roll onto your back again. Take those arms overhead, take those legs out straight. Push those fingers from the toes and then bring the hands to the sky and bring the right knee in. Pull the knee up towards the shoulder, breathing in. Breathing out, pull this right knee over the body, push that right hand away, taking the tummy button to the sky, taking the breastbone to the sky, pushing that elbow to the floor, turning the eyes to the right, breathing in, breathing out, lengthen. Roll back onto the back, pull that right knee up towards the armpit, keeping those shoulders down into the floor. Pulling this right knee over the body, pushing that right hand away, pushing the right knee to the floor, reaching and stretching. Breathing in, breathing out. And then roll the body onto that left hand side. Take hold of this right foot in the right hand. Roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Push that foot into the hand and push that foot backwards and away. Backwards and away. Keeping the pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone in a vertical line, not compressing that lower back. Pushing this right foot behind you away, stretching that hip flexor and that quad, breathing in. Breathing out, release, and then roll back onto the back. Bring that right knee in, bring that left knee in, bring both knees in, lift the tailbone up and release. Push the tailbone down, roll those shoulders into the floor, slide them down. Make sure all those ribs are on the ground. Make sure that lower back is slightly lifted. Let those knees fall apart from each other, stretch that inner thigh, push those shoulders away from the ears. Holding those knees apart, push the knees back up into the hands, breathing in. Breathing out, release and lengthen. Let those legs come away further from each other. Push those knees into the hands, breathing in. And on the out breath, release. Let them come away from each other. Bring those legs back together. Hug your nose up to your knees and your knees to your nose. Take those hands away. Take those hands all the way up to the sky. Lower that head to the ground. Bring those arms all the way overhead. Pull those shoulders down and back. Pull those arms up to the sky. Bring them down by your side, pushing your fingers past your bum and your shoulders away from your ears. Are you in neutral spine? Or are your ribs on the floor? Is your lower back slightly lifted? Take your feet away from your bottom a bit. Draw in that core. Take that right foot, so you tap the heel on the floor. No movement with that spine. Bring that right leg back up. Take that left leg, rotate it over. Tap the heel on the floor. Nothing moves other than the leg. Bring it back up. Take that right foot over to the floor. Hold it, hovering just above the ground. Slide it away from the bum. Bring it back, lift it back up. So that's optional, the slide away. Take that left leg down, hover it over the floor. Optional, slide it away from the bum. Bring it back in, lift it back up. Take that right foot down to the floor, hover it. Slide it all the way out straight if you want. Bring it all the way back in, bring it all the way back up. Left leg, rotate down to the floor, shoulders stay flat. Slide that left leg out straight is optional. Bring it back in, lift it back up. Both heels, take them down to the floor, hover them. Lengthen that head. Bring those legs back up. If you want to continue with individual legs, that's fine. Take both legs down, hover them over the floor. Bring both legs back up. Take both legs and hover them over the floor or rest them lightly. Bring them back up. Take both legs over. Right, so if you're doing individual legs, end up with them both there and then slide both legs away, opening this hip flexor, keeping that back strong, clenching with that bum. This is walking. Hold yourself straight, bring those legs back in, bring the right leg up, bring the left leg up. Lower the left leg down, lower the right leg down, lengthen those legs away, push them away, holding those shoulders away from the ears, holding that lower back slightly lifted, bring that right leg back in, bring the left leg in, lift the feet back up. Take those legs over to the floor, slide them away. Bring the right leg in, bring the left leg in, bring them back up. Take those feet all the way over to the floor. Straighten those legs out and rest them there. Push those hands down away from the shoulder, away from the body, lengthening the shoulders. Bring the chin into the chest and push the back of the head in the floor and lift it, lengthen that neck. Turn that head by sliding it down to the floor. Pull that nose to the floor, left nostril to the ground. Push that right shoulder away from the head. Pushing down. Bring that head back up to the sky. Turn that head, so we're sliding it on the floor so that the right nostril goes to the ground. Push those shoulders away from the ears. Push that nostril down to the ground. Bring those eyes back up. Turn the head to the left, pushing the left nostril to the floor, breathing in. Push those shoulders away. Now stick that tongue out as far as you can. Do a circle with your tongue one way and then a circle the other. Take your tongue hard left and then hard right. Release. Turn that head up to the sky. Your tongue is attached to the base of your neck. Turn your head around to the right. Push that right nostril to the floor. Stick that tongue out and do a circle each way. Hard to the left, then hard right. Release. Bring that head back up to the ceiling. Roll those shoulders into the floor. Push those elbows down, lift onto the back of your head. Push that chest up high. Breathing in. Breathing out, lift. And then release, rolling onto the ground. Bring those arms up to the sky, chin into the chest. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Slide those hands all the way down those legs. Bend those knees. Bring that tummy right onto the thighs. Pull yourself right forward, breathing in. And then lifting up. And then rolling all the way back down, one vertebra at a time. All the way down to flat. Roll over onto that left-hand side. Keep that left leg straight. Put the right leg underneath the left leg. Support the head with the underneath arm. Roll that top shoulder all the way up to the ear. All the way back, down and round. Rolling that shoulder. Now leave that shoulder up, that arm up in the sky. Let that arm hang backwards. Push that chest up, arm back. Pull the shoulders. Pull the shoulder, pull the arm away. Pulling that head, keeping that head straightened. Pulling the ear away from that shoulder. Glide that arm right, glide that arm left. Take that hand all the way up towards the head. Take it on the floor all the way down. Take it over the body, all the way around behind you on the ground, all the way back and around. Round on the floor in front, over the body. Keep it on the floor. Take it all the way around. All the way back on the floor. Bring the other arm underneath the top one. Take that top arm up into the sky, all the way over, trying to stretch through those ribs. Bring that arm all the way back. Keep the arm straight. I've got the bicycle in the way, unfortunately. Bring that arm all the way over. Turning the eyes as well. Bring that arm all the way back. One more. Bring that arm up and all the way over. And bring that arm back. Rolling over onto the other side. Keep that underneath leg straight. Tuck the top leg under the bottom leg. Support the head with your underneath arm. Roll the top shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Let the arm join in. Roll the shoulder up to the ear, down and back, and leave that arm in the sky. Pull that shoulder back, push that hand away. Stretching through the front of that arm, spread those fingers. Glide that arm towards the head, glide it down to the waist. Glide that arm up, glide that arm down. Glide that arm up, glide that arm down. Let that arm swing all the way down to that leg. Let the arm go all the way on the floor, around in front, over the top of the head. Keep it on the floor if you can, all the way around. All the way over that leg, all the way around. All the way back, opening. All the way over and forward. One more. So I do this way because it's encouraging that shoulder all the way around and back. The other way brings that shoulder forwards. Relax that arm. Bring those arms both in front of you, breathing in. On the out breath, bring that top arm up to the sky, all the way over to the floor. Reaching, trying to get that shoulder blade on the ground, trying to keep that knee on the ground. Bring those hands back together, breathing in. On the out breath, open and close. On the out breath, open and close. One more, on the out breath, open and close. Bring yourself back onto your back. Actually don't, roll yourself over onto your tummy. Rolling over onto your tummy, hands in that pitchfork position, forehead on the ground. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench through the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Lengthen those legs so the knees and feet are off the ground. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Lift that hand and forearm up and lower. Hand and forearm up and lower. Hand and forearm up and lower. Breathing in. Draw in that core. Keep that lower, the pubic bone into the floor. Bottom ribs are on the ground. Breathing out. Lift the front of that body up. Pulling those elbows towards the waist, pulling the chest towards the front of the mat. Lengthen those legs away, breathing in. Breathing out, release everything down to the floor. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky, pull them back and down. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, pulling the pubic bone into the floor. Thighs, knees and feet are off the ground, breathing in. On the out breath, tummy's lifted, push on those bottom ribs. And lift that upper body up off the ground, pulling the chest forward, pulling the shoulder blades back. And release everything down to the floor. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Pull those elbows down towards the waist, clench the bum, lift up those legs, draw the tummy in. Resting on the bottom ribs, looking at the front edge of your mat. Pulling the elbows towards your waist, pushing the chest forward towards the mat. Hold yourself. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you want to, slide your hands down towards your bottom ribs. Breathing in. On the out breath, push those hands in the floor and rock onto your thighs and your pubic bone. Breathing in. On the out breath, release onto those bottom ribs. Do this in 3 stages. So my legs are off the floor. I'm on my bottom ribs, my belly's lifted. Push those hands into the ground and lift onto the thighs and pubic bone. Bums clenched. Release those hands, come back onto those bottom ribs. Push off those hands, come on the thighs and pubic bones. Now straighten the arms. So we're extending the hip and the chest, keeping the tummy engaged, not compressing the lower back. Lengthening the body. Now we can tighten those thighs and we can come into that up dog. lengthening. Drop the knees to the floor, push that bum in the air and go back into child pose. If you go straight up into up dog, I can guarantee if you don't go through that process that you're compressing your lower back and letting your belly stretch. Walk those hands across to the left-hand side of the mat. Stretch through that left side, that right side, sorry. Walk the hands to the right-hand side of the mat and stretch through the left. Bring those hands back in the middle, pulling the knees apart. Lift yourself back up onto all fours. Puppy pose. Keep the bum above the hips. Slide those bum above the knees. Slide those hands forward. Take the chest to the floor. Chest and chin to the ground. Breathing in. Breathing out. Push those forearms into the ground. Breathing in. Breathing out. Push those forearms into the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, push the forearms into the ground, release and lower that chest further. Slide those hands a bit further forward if you can. And then bring those arms in, come back up onto all fours. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, turn the inside of the elbows forward. Slide down onto your elbows, lengthen your legs away. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Bring the hand and forearm up. Bring the whole arm up into the sky. Breathing in. On the out breath, clench the bum, lengthen the legs, lift them off the floor. Pulse those arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them high, lift the belly off the ground. Pulse the arms up for 5. Clench the bum, clench the tummy. 3, 2, 1. Hold those hands up high. Breathing in. On the out breath, pulse the hands up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release onto the floor. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Draw the tummy and clench the bum, lengthen the legs, lift them off the ground. Lift that body up off the floor, the upper body resting on the bottom rib. Do not come higher than the bottom rib. Slide those hands down towards that waist. Breathing in. On the out breath, push onto the knees and the pubic bone. Do not come right up. Come on the thighs and the pubic bone. Clench the tummy, clench the bum. Straighten the arms. Open that chest. Breathing in. On the out breath, tighten the thighs. Lift those knees off the floor. Push that chest forward. Drop the knees to the ground. Bum in the air. Back into child pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Lift yourself up onto all fours. Turn that tailbone down, push the back up. Turn that tailbone up, push that belly down. Come into neutral. Slide that left hand under the armpit of the right hand. Push off that right hand, lift that left arm up into the sky. Swing that left arm through under that right arm. Push off the right hand, lift that left hand up into the sky. Put that left hand on the floor, turn the right hand palm up, push it through under this left arm. Push off the left hand, bring that right hand up into the sky. Swing that right hand through under the left arm. Push again, lifting that right arm up into the sky. Bring that hand next to the other one. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Turn the inside of the elbows forward. Lengthen the head, eyes to the floor. Pushing the head away from the tailbone, drawing that core. Neutral spine. Push the chest forward over those fingers. Don't let the lower back sag. Walk those knees forward between the hands. Put those legs out straight in front. Soften the knees if you need. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back. Put the hands on the floor. Push the chest forward. Pull those shoulders down. Pull the chin into the chest. Push the right knee into the floor. Straighten that leg. Push the left knee into the floor. Straighten that leg. Bring the eyes up to horizontal. Bring those hands all the way forward, all the way up into the sky, all the way around. Rolling those shoulders. Bring those arms all the way up high into the sky. Bring them all the way around. All the way up. Hold them in the sky. Push them up tall. Big breath in. Fill those lungs up with air. Big breath out. Release those arms. Rest them on your legs. And roll your shoulders.